One of the most persistent questions people ask about religion is whether it is universal. Are religions simply cultural constructions, stories shaped by geography and history? Or do they arise from something deeper and shared, something embedded in what it means to be human? To begin exploring that question, it helps to start not with theology, but with psychology. Carl Jung argued that beneath our personal experiences lies what he called the collective unconscious, a shared layer of the human psyche populated by what he called archetypes. Archetypes are not ideas we learn, they are patterns of meaning that human beings generate again and again across cultures and across time. Jung noticed that people who had never encountered one another's tradition dreamed similar images and told strikingly different stories, similar stories. These recurring patterns, the wise elder, the shadow, the hero, the mother, suggested that the human mind comes equipped with a symbolic grammar for meaning itself. Jung was not claiming that all religions teach the same doctrines. His claim was subtler. Religions emerge as culturally specific expressions of shared psychological structures. The symbols change, the stories change, but the underlying patterns persist. In recent decades, this insight has been extended through neuroscience and maps of meaning. Jordan Peterson draws on brain science to argue that human beings are not neutral processors of information. Our nervous systems evolved to orient us towards meaning, danger, order, transformation. We do not experience the world merely as facts, we experience it as landscapes of significance. Certain images, paths, thresholds, centers, heights, depths carry emotional and moral weight long before we articulate them consciously. From this perspective, religious symbols are not arbitrary. They correspond to deep neural and psychological patterns shaped by evolution. Religion in this view is not an add-on to human life. It is one of the primary ways in which human beings organize reality in the face of suffering, mortality, and uncertainty. When people say they're not religious and they're atheist, I remind them that there's no rational proof of atheism either, and they're being just as religious as me. We all find our hooks to hang on to. We find our handles, right? It's a natural part of being a human being. One archetype that appears with remarkable consistency across religious traditions is the image of the eternal tree. Trees connect worlds. Their roots descend into darkness. Their trunks stand in the human realm. Their branches reach upward towards the heavens. Trees embody growth, endurance, vulnerability, and connection all at once. It's no accident that cultures repeatedly imagine ultimate meaning through the image of the tree. In Islam, the tree appears in the Quranic retelling of Eden. It appears as the tree of immortality, the Sharajat al-Khuld. Satan tempts Adam and his wife by pointing towards a promise of permanence. Your God has forbidden you this tree lest you become angels or become immortal. Here the tree represents a deeply human longing, not only for pleasure, but for permanence, knowledge, escape from finitude. The tree marks a boundary. It's not evil in itself, rather it reveals the danger of mistaking transcendence for possession. In Islamic theology, immortality belongs to God alone. Human beings are called instead to Islam, submission, acceptance of limits, and trust in divine sovereignty. The tree teaches restraint. Meaning comes not from seizing eternity, but from aligning itself with God. In Buddhism, the tree takes on a very different role. Beneath the Bodhi tree, Siddhartha sits unmoving, confronting fear, desire, illusion, suffering. And according to tradition, he vows, "Here I shall sit until my bones decay, until I attain awakening." The Bodhi tree does not promise immortality. It offers awakening. Enlightenment comes not through ascent to the heaven, but through radical presence. The Buddha does not escape impermanence, he understands it. Under the tree, chaos is faced without flight. Meaning arises through attention, stillness, and insight. I'll pause. All right, thank you. I didn't mean to draw attention to it, I'm sorry. That was rude of me. Psychologically, the Bodhi tree reflects the human capacity for integration. Fear, desire, and perception are held together until clarity emerges. Religion here is not belief, but disciplined practice, training the mind to see reality as it is. Judaism's tree of life, Eitz Chaim, that we mention at the end of every service, Eitz Chaim hi umachazip kim bach. She is a tree of life to those who hold fast to her. In Judaism, the tree is neither forbidden nor solitary. It's communal and ongoing. Torah itself is the tree of life. Not abstract wisdom, but a living structure shaping daily action. One does not sit beneath it alone. One lives within it, generation after generation. Jewish mysticism deepens this image further, imagining the tree of life as the flow of divine energy into the world and back out of it. Human ethical behavior, chesed, justice, restraint, helps repair fractures in that flow. Meaning is not merely discovered, it is made through responsibility and relationship. Transcendence is woven into ordinary life, eating, speaking, working, caring for others. Just really, that's one of my favorite parts of Judaism. We do these small things, and that's where meaning arises, is in these small actions. That's the way we make ourselves better and the world better, is through these small actions. There's a great example. We lit 2 candles, and all of a sudden it's a day of rest. Boom. Small action brings great meaning. When we place these traditions side by side, the similarities are striking, but so are the differences. Islam's tree warns against grasping eternity. Buddhism's tree offers awakening within impermanence. Judaism's tree demands sustained ethical engagement with the world. Different theologies, different practices, but a shared symbolic grammar. So is religion universal? On one level, the answer is no. Religions are historically situated. They disagree profoundly about God, selfhood, salvation, and the afterlife. These differences matter. Flattening them does violence to their integrity. But on another level, the answer is yes. Wherever human beings wrestle seriously with mortality, suffering, longing, hope, religious meaning takes shape. The recurring symbols of the tree, the path, the light, the fall, the return, suggest that religion arises wherever human beings attempt to orient themselves within existence. Carl Jung once suggested that modern people do not become less religious when they abandon traditional faith. They simply become religious in less conscious ways. The archetypes don't disappear. They surface in politics, ideology, art, consumer culture. So the question's not whether we'll organize our lives around meaning, but whether we will do so wisely. From a Jewish perspective, this insight does not undermine particularity. Judaism does not claim to be the only language of meaning. Rather, it claims to be our language, a disciplined inheritance for engaging universal human questions. The tree of life does not replace the Bodhi tree or the tree of immortality. It stands alongside them, offering a distinct path rooted in covenant law and community. So perhaps the better question is not, is religion universal, but what does religion reveal about being human? The persistence of the tree suggests this: we're creatures who grow upward only by rooting deeply, who seek meaning by connecting heaven and earth, limits and aspiration, responsibility and hope. Religion is universal not because it gives the same answers, but because it arises wherever human beings dare to ask the same enduring questions and choose again and again to keep growing. Shabbat Shalom.